So today I'm going to talk about my rain gear, and it's heavier than most, but it's not like I haven't tried everything else over the years. But for years and years, I mean, before all this real lightweight stuff came out, I've had this thing probably 30 years. I've always been a poncho guy. I really never had many raincoats. I mean, I've tried it, but I didn't like it. Most of them turn into a sauna. What I liked about this poncho, even though it weighed a pound in itself, was it was also my ground cloth for my tent. The problem with these ponchos, just an open flat poncho, is there's no arms in them. I mean, this would cover my pack. I could throw it on. It was heavy enough in the wind that I could get it over my pack real easy, and just like today, I'd tie it down with a piece of elastic, and your arms are exposed. That's what really attracted me to this Snugpak Patrol Poncho I use now. It's got sleeves and has all this protection, still has enough open so you don't get super hot in it, unlike a rain jacket. But I guess, there was the weight that really made me think I could do better. And so, I tried. So Sea to Summit came out with a poncho similar to this, only really lightweight material. I think some kind of a sill. I'm not even sure what it was made out of, but it only weighed like 6 ounces. So I was going to save 10 ounces by going to that. And it was just too light. I've said this before, it was kind of putting it on, it was like wrestling with a snake. I never had dealt with Dyneema. Then Z-Packs came out with a Dyneema ultralight poncho. I know it was probably, again, maybe 6 ounces or less. I can't remember, but I thought, well, maybe Dyneema's got a little more heft to it. And so I bought that, very expensive. Same problem. That stuff is just so light. I don't know if people have this problem when they buy these 16-ounce Dyneema tents, but the material can be so light, it's almost like trying to deal with a candle in the wind. If you got any kind of weather coming in, I just can't control that stuff. Whereas like this patrol poncho I'm carrying now, Snugpak, it's got some heft to it, and you pay for that in weight. But, when I'm in some heavy wind, I can deal with that thing, whereas those other two were just flapping in the wind, and I couldn't even control them. So then, even though I said I don't like rain jackets because they're so cheap, I just went to Walmart and tried these frog togs, pants, jackets, again, a combination, wear what you need to wear at the time. They probably won't last too many trips because they wear and tear real easy. But again, it was like putting on a sauna suit. I hated it. And so I'll eat the weight with this patrol poncho because, again, it's got some heft to it to get it on and off in a wind. It's got full protection. It protects my arms. I can even hold it down further with thumb holes, just like the sun hoodies have. I've got rubber gloves. I wear those Showa gloves. If it's really wet, it's going to be a root soaker all day. I'll put those Chaps on, and I'm just pretty much fully covered. And there's enough airflow in there that I don't get really hot. It's got a hood that I can cinch down, put my hat on top or underneath. Again, I use that elastic cord as a belt to hold it in a wind so it's not flopping all over. And if you've watched any of my videos, you've seen me in a snowstorm in Arizona. You've seen me in a sleet storm last spring in Arizona. I had rain in Florida. I carried that thing across Florida 550 miles, all the way to Palatka, and I really only used it one time. But the one time I needed it, I was glad to have it. It's worth me, at least, it's worth carrying that pound, because I just had kind of a root soaker of a day, and I was pretty much comfortable all day. A lot of people stopped, got in their tents. I just kept right on trucking because I was comfortable, I was dry, I was warm. So you know, those are all the things you have to kind of take into account is, you know, not what's the lightest, but what's the lightest that's going to give you the protection that you want. And you may not even know you need it yet, but again, we talk about deal with the suck. Well, you just have to kind of figure out what kind of sucker you are. You might get out there and find out you don't like being wet. You don't like being in a sauna, and you're going to try other things like I have over the years. And this is what I've fallen on for right now. If something else comes along, I'll try it. But right now, I'm a happy camper. Think about it. Keep smiling.